Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Faith Talks and Inspires. Today I am with a very special guest. Her name is Marina.
Hello everyone.
So I am going to be interviewing her, and Marina is a very important person in my life. She is my tennis coach. She is like a second mother to me, and she is my guardian. And I really appreciate her being on my channel and doing this video with me. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into this interview. Before I start asking her questions, I'm going to tell you guys how we met. So when I was 6 years old, my mom wanted me and my brother to get into sports. So Marina was volunteering as a tennis coach and at the tennis camp, and after the tennis camp was done, she reached out to my mom and they connected. They introduced each other, and Marina wanted to give me and my brother like private lessons on tennis, and we grew closer, and here we are today. She is very close to my family, and we really appreciate her because she did it free of charge, and we're just really thankful for her. And yeah. My first question is, how did tennis lead to your journey of coaching / playing?
Yeah, good question. So tennis has been my whole life since I was very young. Since I was 8 years old, I started playing, and quickly that led to competitive playing. And I ended up going to college and playing tennis for college. Naturally, at that time, I was coaching on the side during the summer to kind of help supplement my income. And then also, after I graduated, that was an easy way to kind of transition from playing to coaching.
My second question is, what is your current career and how do you balance tennis in that career?
Yeah, so I'm a mental health therapist, and I did transition from coaching to doing more therapy. So at the moment, I'm heavily doing therapy or counseling and doing a little bit of coaching and very limited on the side. It did at the beginning, when I was first getting into counseling, there was a little bit of a balance where I was going to school, and I had to kind of juggle both. As I was supporting myself, I was still working, as my primary job was coaching, and then eventually I transitioned into more of a therapy only and just a little bit of counseling, of coaching.
My third question is, what was it like growing up in Bulgaria, and what made you decide to move to America?
Yeah, good question. Actually, that's a major shift in my life when I made that decision to move to America. It was rough growing up, to be honest. Bulgaria is a wonderful country, but it was under communism for many years. I grew up under the communistic regime. And when I was a teenager, when I was 12 or 13 years old, it was very difficult. My parents and the entire country was economically not doing well. So there was financial struggles. And really, I had a dream to find a better way of life. And when I was able to get a scholarship here in America to play tennis, it was my ticket out of that. So that's kind of what brought me in the country to look for the American dream, if you will.
My fourth question is, what was the biggest cultural difference you noticed between Bulgaria and the US?
Yeah, I would say the culture. Bulgaria is very relational culture, I would say, I guess from my perspective, meaning like people are very close and relationships are very very interdependent. While here in America, people kind of have a little more of a individualistic perspective, and it's more about the individual. And so that was very, very challenging for me personally, as I was just used to always doing things with people, always being around people, and it was a shift to come in and learn how to be more an individual and be able to do things for myself and on my own.
My fifth question is, how has your experience as an athlete influenced your work as a therapist?
Yeah, it's actually, there's a lot of overlap. Tennis is a very mentally heavy, if you will, game where your mental health is so important. And so I was actually very interested in psychology when I was going to school, when I was going to college, because of the mental health component in tennis. And it's been very important for me my entire life as I was learning to overcome mental challenges on the tennis court. So naturally, that just drew me to psychology and learning more about how our mind works and our emotions. And eventually, as I became a therapist, it was very, very helpful in a way transition into being able to help others. But there's a little bit of an overlap there with the mental health aspect with tennis.
My sixth question is, what is one place you would love to travel to?
I just traveled to Brazil, and I guess I would love to go back there. It's just the most, it's the people that just are incredibly friendly and relational, and I would love to visit again if I had a chance to.
My seventh question is, if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
That's a really good question, and I wish I had opportunity to ever speak to my younger self. I would definitely encourage myself in that tennis is just a game, and don't put your whole life worth in a game. You are more than the game, and whether you win or lose.
I really love that message. It is a very good lesson. And my eighth question is, what advice would you give to someone who wants to improve both their physical and mental strength?
Yeah, good question. I think it's more about kind of internal posture, in having that commitment and determination that's internal, that I am going to pursue, whether it's physical, whether it's mental strength, and really actually in every area of life. It's about that commitment that we make to ourselves to pursue what we desire to pursue, and then out of that we begin taking the steps forward in spending the time and the energy to put into develop that mental and physical strength.
My ninth question is, if you could play a tennis match with a completely ridiculous twist, like using frying pans instead of a tennis racket or playing on a trampoline, what would you choose and why?
Okay, so what comes to mind would be, so I grew up playing tennis on a clay court, and clay courts, you can slide on them. What comes to mind is putting on some kind of like shoes that you can slide even more, and instead of a tennis racket, using a baseball bat. So just sliding around the tennis court and just kind of, using the baseball bat to just kind of play almost like a ping pong, but like with a sled, like kind of like you're sledding in the middle of it. So that would be fun, I feel like.
For my 10th and final question, would you give any advice or words of encouragement to anyone watching this video?
Yeah, absolutely. I think no matter what you do in life, whether you are playing tennis, whether you are counseling people, whether you are just doing whatever your job is, everything is important that you do, and you are important. And I think discovering your value, as God says who you are, if you can see yourself as a valuable person, individual, everything will shift. And that comes from knowing the Lord and knowing that He loves you deeply. So I would encourage you to seek true love in Him, so that you can learn to value and love yourself, and everything else will flow from there.
Wow, that was such a fun and interesting conversation. Thank you so much, Marina, for sharing your amazing journey and letting me ask you these questions. And those messages were really touching. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what was your favorite thing Marina talks about. See you guys in my next video. Bye.